Last week, President-elect Barack Obama laid out the details for a bold economic package, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Plan. In his speech, he said the economic crisis we face is unlike any we've seen in our lifetime. We know that's true, not only because the statistics show an economy in dire shape, but also because so many of you have written into change.gov to tell us how the economic crisis is affecting you. Hundreds of thousands of you have shared stories about lost jobs and skyrocketing mortgage payments and just the struggle to get by. But you're not alone. The economic crisis touches all of us. That's why the recovery plan has to be just as far-reaching. In this crisis, there's an opportunity to address some of our nation's most critical needs, our environment, our infrastructure, and our healthcare and education systems. The plan will create millions of jobs in these areas and at the same time place a down payment on our economic future.
One of the things the president-elect has been very committed to is creating the next generation of jobs and greening our economy. And this recovery plan offers a tremendous opportunity for us to train workers in green jobs, whether it be the people who will string the high-volt lines for our wind farms and solar facilities, or people who will work in low-income homes, middle-income homes to weatherize and help save individual homeowners money on their monthly electric bill. There's a lot of things that we can do that will save the taxpayers money on the federal government's energy bill and individual homeowners money on their monthly electric bill. The goal of this is to create the jobs, but also once the house has been audited and the upgrades have been made, for that family to reap the benefits of those improvements, to see it on a monthly basis.
I think a lot of people in their communities probably see everything from potholes that go unfilled for years, especially now in the economic downturn when cities and counties don't have the resources for standard road repair. And they also probably see their drive times significantly increase as congestion has increased dramatically across the country, especially in a number of growing population centers. Infrastructure is a part of this plan for a number of reasons. First, it can help stimulate immediate job creation, which is a central component of the president-elect's economic recovery plan. Second, it's an opportunity for us to meet a lot of those unmet needs that have really grown over the past several years, and in some cases, several decades. And the president-elect very much wants to look at forward-thinking investments. How can we expand our public transit systems? A lot of infrastructure is not just roads and bridges, but it's our buildings, it's our laboratories, and of course it's broadband lines, which have not been deployed to several parts of the country. So those are the types of investments that we think can create jobs today and also power long-term growth in the future.
Well, every 1% of additional unemployment means about 1 million people have lost their health insurance. So this, in very real terms, means that millions and millions of people are, for perhaps the first time in their lives, extremely vulnerable. The President's plan will affect health care in several ways. First of all, we want to help the states who are trying to provide assistance in the form of Medicaid and in the form of the Children's Health Insurance Program. Also, we want to put greater effort on prevention, and we want to make a down payment on the acquisition of information technology for health. So those things, too, would have a huge impact.
We've seen reports over the last couple of weeks that systems in every single state are starting to plan to lay off teachers. You know, those kinds of decisions get made generally in February and March, so people know, in fact, if they're going to be employed for the following school year. So those are the kinds of tough decisions that school superintendents are having to make right now. What we want to do is to let them know that help is on the way, that they don't have to make those kinds of cuts, that they can retain their teaching levels, that they can keep in place their good programs for students, that they can continue along the road to reform that they've already started. And quite frankly, that children who are sitting in crumbling schools, that we are modernizing our schools, that we're doing something about school construction, that we're using technology and giving children access to 21st century technology so that they are prepared to go into a 21st century workforce.
In every aspect of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Plan, we must act boldly yet carefully. That's why the President-elect has declared a war on waste, to make sure the plan is as effective and efficient as it is bold.
This is something that's really been a preoccupation for the president. For the first time, he's appointed a chief performance officer for the United States government. We've got a whole set of new mechanisms based on the web for monitoring every single investment project, and not just our monitoring every single investment project, but the American people being able to monitor the investment projects. He's set up a board of government officials who will be responsible for the strategic choices on the expenditure, and he has also insisted that there be involvement of outsiders in that process so that government does its work in much more business-like ways.
Chances are you felt the pinch in your own household budget or in your community. So one other integral element of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Plan is a $1,000 tax cut for 95% of working families. With more money in our pockets, we can all keep the economy going. Ultimately, this is about you, and your participation is essential, because this isn't just about confronting the current crisis. It's a down payment on our economic future. We're counting on you to get involved and stay involved. So share this video with your friends, talk about it, then log on to change.gov and let us know what you think.
It is obviously a very difficult time for lots of people in this country, but hopefully we can create some opportunity.
We're doing the best that we can to make sure that families are sustained, that children get the kind of support that they need, and to ensure that, in fact, our best days are ahead.
But I think if we all focus on the future, we all focus on the needs of our families, we all focus on the needs of our country, we will get through this.